So we're on my last slide here, and I just wanted to give you guys some email marketing survival tips. you know, how to start an email marketing and win continually. So these are 5 tips, and I mentioned these all: clarity, shape clear expectations. Okay, like I said, don't be vague, don't be broad, saying I'm going to send you some emails at some time. Just be on the lookout. I mean, that I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to look tomorrow, whether to just say, okay, next month. I don't know. And like I said, confused people don't take action. So the second piece is value. It should be a rule of thumb that every email you sent should be so packed with value. You contemplate whether you should hit send because it's got that much value in it. You're thinking, well, man, maybe I should take some of this out. That if you're battling with that decision, you've got a great email. And those are the type of emails that you want to send out because you want to respect the fact that this individual allowed you into their private space. People view their email inboxes as very private. So you want to honor that by giving great value whenever you can.
Well,
Three,
and
go ahead.
plus you want them to be able to, you want them to be accustomed to getting value from you,
Yes,
right? It's
yes, yes, Rick.
it's they want to open up your email because they know there's something in there that will be helpful or useful to them one way or another.
Yes. Yep,
So
100% correct. Yep. And that speaks to this idea that we've kind of been hinting at is training people to expect value from you. I mean, if anything in email marketing, that's what I would say. People let people know that, hey, look, when you see my name, you're getting value. Whether it's on a business card, whether it's on my website, you're getting value. I mean, that's building a reputable brand for your company.
mhm.
And three is consistency. Whatever, there is no right or wrong. However often you want to send emails, choose that, but do it regularly. If it's every month, make sure at the third, fifth, whatever of every month you send that newsletter out or that email out. Consistency is the key. Again, train people what to expect. The fourth is ex corporate. Personalize your emails. Don't speak in the corporate voice as, hey, you all should, or hey, we here at Enterprises Incorporated. Be very specific. Use words like I, my. Use their name, as Rick mentioned before. Speak to them as if that person is sitting right next to you. How would you talk to one person, a client sitting right in front of you in your office? How you would talk to them is how you need to talk in your emails, not the corporate voice like you're, speaking to this massive crowd. People get lost in the numbers.
Because these opt-in forms give you the opportunity to automate that, right? I
Yes,
mean, if you just take an email, it's going to be hard to call them by name. But if you take a first name, last name, and email address, then you've got the first name that you can use in an email,
right,
which is the
right.
benefit of saying first, last, and an email address in that opt-in form because it'll automatically insert their first name. If you use their
Yes,
full name, then sometimes at that point it sounds less personal because it's more clearly automatic,
mm-hmm.
right? Hey, Rick
Right,
Anderson,
right,
I'm sending you this just a
right.
note to let you know that da 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 da. Hey Rick is way more clearly personal,
Yes,
less clearly automated than Hey Rick at bylbwebsite.com or Hey Rick
yeah,
Anderson. So.
yes. I agree, and I'll tell you, I'll give everybody on the call a tip and trick, whatever you want to call it, a tactic that I use that's very good for personalization is in that first name field. You can put text in that box that they type in. You can also ask for their nickname. So my first name is Christopher, and if you ask for my nickname, I may put Chris in there, or William might put Bill, and that way, when you're sending out that email, it's that much more personal because now you're calling them by a nickname that people who know them call them by. So it's a small trick that I found for people who really use personalization. It works wonders for, because, like you said, it increases that. Oh, wow, did he send this to me? It gives that personal feel. So yes, yes. Lastly, is instruct. All, do not leave it up to your prospect to figure out what to do. Don't just throw a link on there and say, "Oh, well, they know when they see blue, they should click." No, instruct them on what to do. This is your call to action. So you're always calling them to do something. You're never sending out an email just to say hi. Like I said, respect their inbox. They jumped on your list because they want value from you. Give them value, and always reward them when they take action. It's what I call incentive clicking. Every time you call somebody to do something, there should be an incentive behind it. You don't just say, "Hey, go here." Why am I going here? What do I get? Okay. And of course, lastly, this one doesn't even need a number, because this is just a rule, just overall. Do not spam ever. Ever. Asking for the sale on the first email, that's a form of spam. If you don't know what spam is offering somebody something so frequently that they don't want it. I mean, that's just spam. They can start off saying, "Hey, I like this guy." And then you send 5 emails in one day, say, "Hey, did you get this? Hey, you should get that. Hey, buy that." Spam. That's spam. If I respect people's inbox and respect their time, do not send don't send a selfish email. How about that? Do not send an email that's just all about you and what you want and what you're trying to get from them. That is, in my mind, that's my definition of spam, because those are the emails that get marked as spam. At least when you're honest, you're operating in integrity, you're adding value. If somebody doesn't want your emails, they're more likely to opt out than to mark it as spam. So keep those things in mind always. And this would serve as a great guide, a great starting guide, in email marketing. Of course, there's more to talk about. You can dive deep in each area. How do you get people to opt in? How do you optimize your offer and your code? And how do you write emails that get opened? How do you do attractive headlines in your emails where people are inspired to click and open them? And then how do you write emails that read easily? I mean, there's rules and tricks to all of that stuff, because you can't just put a paragraph in an email and expect somebody to read that. Remember, well, I don't know if I said this, but you have, I believe, the last time I checked, it was 50 seconds is the most anybody is willing to spend reading an email. 50 seconds. So that's a good rule of thumb to say, okay, how do I structure this that at least within that first 50 seconds, they're getting the meat and potatoes of this thing. They get my call to action, and they take action. Um, so that's that's it. That's the presentation for today. I hope you guys find value in it. I have a special bonus offer at the very end. That's something that I want to give to you all, just for taking your time out and attending this webinar. And but for now, if you guys had any questions, anything, feedback, concerns, now's the time. Fire off. I'm here as long as you guys need me to answer questions.
Okay, so before we dive into questions, I just want to follow up with show the diagram of the process. And in a couple of weeks, we're going to be going through that process on an e-commerce site. So
Oh,
one of the
great.
reasons why I was excited about scheduling Chris for now is because there's a bunch of stuff here I don't have to cover. In fact, actually, I haven't even traditionally covered. I've traditionally covered the mechanics of setting it up. Here's how you sign up. Here's how you create a form. Here's how you stick it on your site. Here's how you connect it up to your email list. Here's how you connect it up to your shopping cart. That kind of stuff. But my intention here was to talk more in general about what to do instead of how to do it. But we are going to be
Yes.
talking about how to do that here in a couple of weeks in the e-commerce series, and we will come back to that a few times in the summer and that. And actually, I think you and I are going to get back together again and have some more
Yes.
have another session like this or two. So
Yes. You are correct.